For you guys that are having all these hang-ups about going to church, what are you afraid you're going to lose by going?
Hey guys, Laura here from What Laura Likes. So today I have a special video for you. Today my husband Ryan is here. He is my favorite human, as they always say. And he makes fun of me all the time. So recently I did a video answering marriage questions and it was collab, and I'll pin it down below if you haven't seen it already because it was a really good video about marriage. But I wasn't able to get to all the questions, and there was a particular question that Ryan wanted to weigh in on as a husband and a father and a head of the household. I do this all the time.
What are you doing?
I'm adjusting the lighting. So the question was what to do when you have, a lot of kids and you want to go to mass and you are going to mass and your husband is either not coming with you or not supportive. I thought we would address that question today. And so first I'm just going to ask Ryan to talk a little bit about what his journey to Catholicism has been, because he wasn't raised Catholic. So Ryan, why did you become Catholic?
Well, I became Catholic because my wife is Catholic, or my fiance at the time was Catholic, and still is. Mm-hmm. And I had to become Catholic as well. And I was like, sure. I didn't really have a problem with it because it's not as if I hadn't ever walked inside of a Catholic church before, and so it really wasn't that, whoops, I just hit the camera. It wasn't really that big of a deal. So when it came to my time to be confirmed and everything, I was really at the time just going through the motions of it. I wasn't really too concerned with how deep I could get into it and whatnot, because for me all this faith journey stuff is baby steps for me. Mm-hmm. I was just of the attitude of what would be so wrong with me doing this? I might actually enjoy it.
Okay.
It might actually benefit me.
Right.
So there wasn't, it's not as if there was really negatives to look forward to about it, other than I just have to drag my butt over to church every Sunday. The
main point of this video is to talk about what you have to say to those men who don't want to support their wives' faith walk. They don't, they either don't want to attend mass with them, or they even get to the point where they want to dissuade her from, either going back to the church or pursuing Catholicism.
So I have run into this quite a few times in my professional life, seeing husbands, they find out I go to church and like, I'd go, but it's just a real pain in the ass, so I'm just not going to do it, and I just make her go on her own, and I just do my own thing, and screw church and all that, because that's just, it's not for me. And they all kind of do that. Not all of them, but a lot of guys do that. And through your YouTube channel, you've gotten a lot of
like sad stories,
comments
really.
on it. Yeah. And so basically my school of thought is, don't be such a sissy. Just go. It's not that hard. Even if you're not really into it. I wasn't really into it either at first. It was more of just, like I said, I was going through the motions. I was just going once a Sunday, mostly for her. Mm-hmm. I really didn't care too much about myself, okay? I cared more about what she wanted, and it made her happy. And it wasn't that difficult, okay?
And we were going to church even before we were married.
Right, and now that we got kids and stuff, it's, the whole thing, dynamic changed. But anyway, so for you guys that are having all these hang-ups about going to church, what are you afraid you're going to lose by going? If it's the extreme that you're just so adamantly opposed to organized religion of any sort, of any type, okay, fine. You can be opposed to it, but your spouse is not opposed to it, and think about how much that she probably already does for you. You might want to return the favor a little bit as a good husband and do something for her. It's not that difficult, especially if she's doing the stay-at-home mom thing. She's doing a lot for you right there. If it's just one of those things where you're just like, well, I was brought up in a church of some sort, it doesn't matter which kind, and I'm just not into it because of my experiences when I was a kid. Okay, well, you're not a kid anymore, you're a freaking adult. So grow up and just take your family to church. You don't have to be into it, but it means a lot to your wife, and it's even going to mean more to your kids to see you participating in some fashion. It's really not all that difficult. And if you're afraid you're going to lose something of yourself, I'd like to know what that is, because you're not going to really lose anything. If anything, you're probably going to gain more of an open heart for Christ, which, again, is that really all that bad?
The thing too is, like, you ask, like, people say that, you know, if they become Christian, they have to give up certain things, like either vices or, you know, other things that are frowned upon. And it's like, but you don't ever focus on what you're going to gain, which I just don't understand. You know, it's like, what about all the joy and peace and just happiness, I guess, that you gain from
Right,
faith?
so we live in a secular world, but we're conditioned from a pretty early age to do us. Just do you.
It's relativism.
No, your truth. Not the truth, but your truth.
Right.
Basically, you end up being your own God by just doing whatever feels good. He's like the whole, well, I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual.
I don't even know what that means.
You know, I just not really into the whole organized religion thing. I'm just real spiritual. So basically, it's a cop-out to say, you know, I'm my own God. I make up my own rules as I go. That's my spiritualness. You don't really have to do anything. You don't really have to hold yourself to a standard. You make up your own standard. Nobody's looking for perfection. Nobody's looking for the most righteous person that can sit down at that pew and accept Christ into their heart. We're looking for people
Sinners.
Yeah, they're always looking for people who are flawed, because those are the ones who Christ wants in his flock. It's not that difficult, okay? Everybody has something. I got a lot. She's got a lot. She might not say like it, but she got some stuff. I got way more, but you know, it's my personal journey in order to adjust myself the way that I'm supposed to be, in order to walk in the light of Christ.
Don't you agree that as a father, it's just helpful, like you said earlier, to just at least attend Mass in order to help with the kids? Like, people, you know, a lot of families have large families and or little kids, and just attending just to, you know,
it's an hour and a half out of your day.
It's an hour in church.
It's an hour in church,
Yeah.
maybe 10-20 minute drive there, 20 minute drive back, depending on where you live. Okay? It ain't that difficult to just go and help your spouse out. You know? Really, if you're one of those guys like, I don't even want my kids walking into that church, you know, then, well, again, what are you afraid the kids are going to lose? You're giving them something that is positive for them when they grow up.
Well, and I just read
it builds character.
Right, there's no harm in it. There's a Harvard study that came out that said that children who attend church weekly, who pray weekly or daily, you know, and do these things with the family are way less likely to have anxiety, depression, they're more well-adjusted. Like, I'll pin the article down below because Forbes actually ran an article on the Harvard study. Giving your spouse the opportunity to believe in something beyond herself and to practice a faith, because the point of this is eternity in heaven. And so to dissuade your spouse from doing things that help her feel like she is on track to getting to be with Jesus in heaven, that's a pretty big deal just because you personally don't agree.
From a very young age, I had the whole like secular mindset that anything Christian was bad. Okay, religion in general was bad because that is a secular mindset that you're conditioned with at a very young age in liberal areas like the Northwest, and that you're more open-minded if you're not open-minded to any kind of religion.
You're more open-minded if you don't buy into religion.
So, as growing up, I thought that it was you were just a closed-minded bigot if you were Christian, without even really questioning it. It wasn't until late teens, I realized that a lot of the things that I was growing up being taught was a load of excuse me, you're gonna have to cut that out. It was a load of
Army.
a load of crap.
Okay, so I hope that was helpful. Please put your comments down below. If you liked Ryan being on the channel, let me know so we can do more chit chats like this. Oh my gosh, we really turned out. Oh my gosh. Alright guys, until next time, this is Laura from What Laura Likes. Have a blessed day. Leave your comments below. Make sure you like this video and give it a thumbs up, which is the same thing. And subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to have you stick around and be part of this channel. And okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Say bye, Ryan.
Bye.